man, if you're brand new to the channel, my name is DJ LiXxer, your favorite damn DJ in the whole wide world, man. And if you're watching this video and you're not subscribed, make sure you hit that red subscribe button down below. Make sure you're liking the video. And also, man, don't forget to hit that bell for the notifications, man. Hashtag notification gang, you feel me? So you don't miss anything that I upload. But anyway, y'all read the title, y'all know what's good, man. I'm always about helping my fellow DJs, always about giving you guys good tips. It's crazy because I actually did this same video about a year ago, but it was for beginner DJs, beginner DJ prices. A lot of you guys agreed with it, which I appreciate. A lot of you were like, oh man, LiXxer, you way too low. But anyway, hopefully, you know, a year and some change later, you're no longer a beginner DJ. If you've been following me for a year, now you're a professional DJ. And I have you guys asking the same questions like, yo, LiXxer, how much am I supposed to charge now as a professional? You know, I'm done doing, you know, the side gigs. I'm done opening it up for people. It's time to get this money, man. So this video, it's all about getting your bread, getting your paper, getting that cream. Cash. And it's about learning how to charge the right way, man, because you don't ever want to undervalue yourself, but you also don't want to, you know, aim for the stratosphere and, you know, reduce your bookings because you're charging people too much money. So just pay attention. We gonna get into it, all right? So, man, if you're watching this and you're not a professional DJ quite yet, make sure you check out my old video, how to charge as a beginner DJ. I'll leave the link for that in the description as well. But if you've been here, you've been working your ass off for a whole year, and you're like, yo, LiXxer, I've been waiting on this video. Tell me how to charge. I got you. I got you. We're gonna break this down into tiers, man. It's the easiest way I know how, because that's how I break down my pricing. Not everyone gets charged the same price. I don't charge as much for a club event that I do a corporate event. Like, those are on two completely opposite sides of the spectrum, so that's why I charge the way I do. First tier for me is like a club gig. I usually wouldn't charge anything less than $50 an hour, and that could range, you know, up to $100, $150 an hour. It honestly just depends, man. And as I said in my last video, man, get what you can, man. If you got a promoter that's willing to pay you, you know, $500 for a 3-hour set, hell yeah, take that money, you know what I'm saying? But this video is basically to give you like an idea. You don't have to follow it by the script. It's just to give you guys a blueprint. You don't have to exactly follow the blueprint, but you know, it helps you out with that. So for, you know, a regular night at the club, for a 4 or 5 hour night, you're getting paid around, you know, $200 minimum. And that's if you're there for 4 hours. If you're there for 5 hours, you're getting $250. I get tired of people trying to give DJs the $150. Like, and if you're a DJ, you know, and you've been in a club, you know, promoters always try to hit you like, hey bro, I got you for the $150. At $200 should be the minimum, I feel. The reason why you charge that is because when you come to a club, you know, clubs have their own lighting, usually have their own microphones, have their own sound. So you're really just coming in and plug and play. You know, you charge more. Well, I do. I charge more for the more equipment that I have to bring, travel time, etc., etc. And we'll get into that in a second. But for club gigs, you know, you're a professional now. You know how to rock a crowd. You know that you can get people on their feet. You know, $50 minimum, $75 if you can get it, $100 if you can get it. I know a DJ that works in Orlando, and he does an event that holds around 400 people on a weekday. And he tells the promoter, hey man, give me, you know, give me $1 a head. So even, you know, no matter what, he's walking out with, you know, $300, $400, which is a really good price, man. And like I said, you know, in my last video on how to become a full-time DJ, make sure you click on the link in that if you haven't watched that either. I basically talked to you guys about how to manipulate your market, not to overcharge yourself. So that's what this video is for. And like I said, man, if you can get more, dog. If you can get it, grab it, run with it. There's nothing wrong with that. But on the minimum, you should be getting paid for a 4-hour event, $200 to probably $250. All right, y'all, so for this second tier, this is when you start really getting your bread and butter. This is when you start getting that money. This is when you start getting that cream. This is when you really start getting paid, man, becoming a mobile DJ. And now, hopefully, you're bringing out your own speakers. Now you have speaker skirts, you have a subwoofer, you have a facade. Your presentation is very clean. You're bringing out lighting, things of that nature. The minimum I charge for a mobile gig is around $100 to $125 an hour. Depending on the client, if they're recurring, I might, do the $100 an hour. But it depends. It honestly depends. Like for me, I have a variation of different packages that my client can choose from. So if my client is like, hey, I got a 3-hour event, we only expected 40 people, and I just need the bare minimum. I just need two speakers. I don't need the speaker skirts. I don't need all the razzle dazzle, a wired microphone. They might get the $100 to $125 an hour package. It just depends. Like for me, my prices depend on the package that you like, the amount of hours, and the distance. That is a major way of how I calculate a majority of my gigs. Presentation. Do you need, do you just want only 2 speakers? Okay. Time. Is it 3 hours? Is it 3 hours or is it 8 hours? Also distance. I live in the Metro Detroit area. Am I going to have to travel 2 hours? That's an extra fee. A lot of the times I tell people who ask me like, hey, how much should I charge for this gig? I say presentation, I say distance, and I say time. So with that being said, that's why a majority of my gigs started around $100 to $125 an hour, and it can go upwards to around $200. So for a 4-hour event, if you're bringing out, 2 speakers, $400, man. But if they want the speaker skirts and lighting, you go up a little bit more on your prices. Now you charge maybe an extra $50 an hour. I feel like that's important. You're gonna charge differently for certain things, man. And like I said, this is just a blueprint. You don't have to follow this completely. This is just to give you, an order of steps. But I would definitely say if you're doing like birthday parties, baby showers, bar mitzvahs, regular just party events or whatever, the minimum you should be charging is around $100 to $125 and upwards of, $175 to maybe even $200 an hour, depending on what they want. Because if you got to hire somebody to do uplighting and all that stuff, that's a completely different, that's a whole nother bag right there, is lighting itself. But that's dependent on you, and that's a good thing. The lovely thing about being an entrepreneur, like I can change my prices whenever the hell I want. So just follow that though. But minimum 100. Maximum, whatever you can get. But I would say, honestly, probably no more than maybe 175, 200 at the most. All right, y'all. So now we're in the last tier. This last tier, this is when you make the big bank, man. Real talk. You're looking at weddings, you're looking at corporate events, and you're looking at big events with probably more than 4, 5, 6, 7, 800 people. This is when you make your bread. Real talk. Weddings, it takes a lot to go into it. That's why we have to charge so much, because you have to, for a wedding, you're not gonna just bring a basic setup for a wedding. My wedding packages don't even offer that. My wedding packages come with speaker skirts. It comes with a subwoofer. It comes with lighting. Even if it's just basic lighting or my basic intelligent lighting, it still has to come with lighting. You know what I'm saying? I feel like when it comes to weddings, you kind of have to offer that, or you're kind of screwing yourself over. It's not gonna look as clean, it's not gonna look as good, and sometimes a client won't be as satisfied. With that being said, I usually don't charge anything less than $200 an hour for a wedding, a corporate event, or like a big, super large event that has like more than 300 or 400 people. The reason of that being what I just stated, man. Corporate events, you have to have your presentation clean. And I'm not gonna lie to y'all, man. I say 65 to 70% of people who look to book you, especially for weddings, they care about the presentation. Presentation is so important, especially now that you're a professional and you've been doing this for a while. You should know that, okay, I need to make sure everything is clean. I need to make sure I have facades. I have to make sure that my equipment is up to par. I have to make sure I have the best type of speakers now. All of that makes sense, but that's why you get to charge so much. I try not to do any weddings for less than $1,000. Like my wedding minimum is $1,000. And that's literally if it's maybe 4 or 5 hours, it might be less than, 200 to 300 people, because with the more people, the more sounds you have to bring. That's why with the events that hold 300 or 400 or 500 people, you're gonna charge more than that. And then with corporate events, you basically get what you can with them. I don't mean to sound, greedy or anything like that, but they have it. So charge it, man. Get your real worth. That's what I like to call my real worth. Because with corporate events, I've done events for 4 hours and got paid $4,000. Literally. Now that's few and far between. I'm not gonna sit here and lie to y'all, man. Y'all know I keep it always a buck with y'all. But those don't come as often as, a regular birthday party gig or something like that. But when you can charge them, man. They have it. You know, that's why I said like the minimum you should be making for these type of events are $200 an hour. It just depends on the packages that you offer. If you're offering a monogram, dancing on a cloud, sparklers, uplighting, you're probably gonna get paid $2,000 for a wedding, which for a 5-hour wedding, so that's around $400 an hour. Why not? So it's possible. You got to get your bread. Now, as far as like the super large events, man, I have to get my bread on that because now I'm paying someone else to help me out. Hiring a sound man can get expensive, you know, especially when you're doing events that hold 500-600 people. You can't do a gig with 500 people with just 2 tops and a subwoofer. You can't do an event with 500 people with just 2 tops and 2 subs. Honestly, you might want to get, you know, 4 tops and 4 subs when you're dealing with things that accrue over, you know, a certain amount of people. The lighting has to be on point. You need extra lights. It's all about, you know, those large events. They're hard to do. I don't do them too often, but your sound man might charge you $600 or $700 just to set up the sound, and then you have to get paid too. So now, you know, you're looking at telling your client like, look, man, I might need $250, $300, $400 because you gotta eat and your sound man gotta eat. You know, that's just basically based upon your preference. As I said, man, always get what you can. That is so important, man. Take advantage of the game. Get what you can. If somebody wants to pay you $3,000 for a wedding, tell them that. If somebody is hitting you up and emailing you like, yo, how much do you charge for a corporate event? Don't, you know, tax yourself out of there. But the first thing I usually ask someone is, hey, what's your budget? So that way I know to continue the conversation. Because if someone hits me up, but they only have a budget of $300, I can't do their wedding. Because for me, it takes so much preparation. It takes so much time. I'm such an entertainment. I'm such an act. You're booking me to be a part of one of the biggest events of your life. With that being said, man, for the 3rd tier, you need to be charging a minimum of $200, basically to infinity. If you can get $500 an hour, do that. If you can get $1,000 an hour, do that. But it's just dependent basically upon, you know, who you are, what you're doing, your market, and who's booking you. All right, y'all, so we're at the end of the video. That was basically all I had to say. Like I said, you know, you don't have to follow it completely to the T, but this video was basically just to give you an idea of how much you should charge for an event as a professional DJ. DJs, y'all know what I'm about to tell y'all. Go ahead and if I went too high, if I went too low, let me know, man. Leave a comment below. Let me know. Also comment where you're from and how much you charge for your market, because like I said, in Detroit, we're not charging as much for club gigs as they are in Miami. That's just the reality of it. We gonna get there one day. I'm definitely gonna make sure we do, but until we get there, you know what I'm saying, baby steps. But thank you so much for watching this video. Like I said at the beginning, if you haven't already, man, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to drop a like, and also don't forget to hit that one time for the one time. Every time your girl upload a video, you see it and you run into it like, let me get up. Hey. But yeah, man, it's your girl, DJ LiXxer. Appreciate y'all for rocking with me, man. Appreciate y'all for watching. And I'll see y'all on the next one, man. Peace.